Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let us learn how to filter our DNS queries which are going out of my VPC. That is, let's say I have a server inside my VPC. Now, what I am expecting is I want to block the requests which are going out. That is nothing but the traffic which is going out of my VPC. That traffic I want to block to only particular domains or specific domains. So how to do this, sir? For this, now in this lab, we are using this DNS resolver. By using this DNS resolver in VPC, we will create a domain list, that is to which domains we are expecting to send our traffic from our VPC. That domain list will actually create it first. Then by using that domain list, we will create a rule group to block the domain list. To block particular domain list, we create a rule group. Then simply after creating that rule group, we will associate that rule group with this VPC. Don't worry, I'll show you hands-on lab. So after we associating that rule group to this VPC, where that rule group contains what are the domains that you want to block. So that details or rules are already configured to that rule group. So in that way, you can able to resolve that DNS issues. That is, you can able to block the domain list, right? Yeah. So even you can monitor the logs by using a Route 53 related query logging. Then you can even verify that your rule group is working or not by connecting to this EC2 instance and try to connect it to that domain, whichever you blocked. So let's see, in this lab, I want to show you that I want to block some websites and show you whether those websites are blocked or not. So for that, I'm going to logging into my management console. Now you can observe I log into my AWS management console. So first, what I'm expecting to do, first, I want to create a domain list, right? Which domains I want to block, that domain list I want to create. So for that option is present under our VPC. So I'm opening the VPC. Under VPC dashboard, you have that option under here. You can check here. That is DNS firewall. Under this DNS firewall, we have that option. By using this only, we can able to block. Now I'm expecting to create the domain list. So that's why I'm clicking on domain list. In this domain list, I'll specify which domains I want to block. You can see I have already managed domain list and you also have custom domain list. So what are the domain lists that you create? Those are visible here. Currently, I want to show you how to create your domain list. So that's why I'm clicking on add domain list. So here I'm providing some domain list name. Like since this is a domain list, I'm providing this as domain list, or you can say blocking domain list. So like that I provided the name, and here you need to enter the domains. Let's say I want to block google.com. So whoever present in that VPC, they are trying to requesting this website, but they don't get the response. That means I want to block the request that is going to this website from that particular VPC. So that's why I provided this. And all the requests that are going with like this, that is, so whatever the previous may be, that I have indicated by using this while character, and any request that ends with .google.com, that type of request I don't want to get the response. So that's why I provided like this. So currently here I'm providing two domain lists, but I haven't specified any action, that is a block or accept, that type of actions I have not specified. But in the domain list, what I defined, what are the domains that I want to take action. Those domains are defined here, and I'm clicking on add domain list. So whenever you click add, you can see one domain list got created successfully. Now here in this rules group, we will create the rule for that domain list. For that domain list, here in this rules group, we are allowed to create the rules like actions. You want to allow the request that is going out from your VPC to those domains, or you want to block the request that is going out of your VPC to that particular domain, so that you can able to define under the rule groups. Currently I want to block, so that's why I am expecting to create a rule group to block. So I'm clicking on create rule group. Since this is a block related, I'm providing a block rule group. So block domain list rule group, right? So that's why I provided the name like this. You can able to provide any name based on your requirement, and I'm adding this rule group. Just I provided the rule group name and I added that rule group. Currently, I do not have any rules in it. I want to add the rule. That is, I want to add, you can see first you need to provide the rule details like a name. I want to provide the name like R1. This is the rule 1. Here, which type of domain list you want? You want to use AWS managed domain list, that is already I have shown you. Those are these. And you want to add your own domain list. This is the own domain list that I have previously created. You have also option to create your new domain list. Currently, I'm moving on with the domain list that I have previously created. In this domain list, I have provided two domains. One is google.com and another one is star.google.com. And so here you need to specify the action. So whether you want to allow or you want to deny. I want to block. So whenever any user present in that particular VPC, or you can say whenever any user or any server present in that particular VPC trying to access that google.com website, then that request need to be blocked. So that's why I specified this, and I'm selecting the response sent for this block action is this NX domain. So this response I'll get, the query doesn't exist like that, and I'm adding this rule group right now. Now you can see our rule group got created and we have added one custom rule that we created. Now, in order to use this rule group to any VPC, we need to associate this with that VPC. So that's why I'm clicking on associate, and here I'm associating. Before associating it, you can see that it is not associated. Now I'm clicking on associate VPC. Here I'm selecting this lab VPC. So this lab VPC, in order to show you that testing. So that's why I created this lab VPC. Inside this, I also created one more EC2 instance to verify whether our rule group is working or not. So that's why I selected this and I'm associated to that VPC. Now this rule group is just now associated to this VPC. You can see currently it is in progress associating. So let's wait for a second so that this rule group will be associated to that VPC. Then, yeah, it is in progress. So after associating to that VPC, so whenever you try to request within from that VPC, then first it validates these all rule groups. Then based on the domain list that you blocked, whatever the action that you taken, that action will be happen. Now first I want to show you that VPC as well, and inside that VPC, whatever the server I have, that also I want to show you. So that's why I'm opening it in a new tab. You can see, yeah, here it is loading. I'm opening my VPCs. If you observe, this lab VPC CIDR block starts with 10.0.0.0/16. So every EC2 instance or server present in this starts with 10.0.0, 10.0. Every EC2 instance starts with 10.0. Now I'm opening my EC2 instances. In order to connect and verify whether that rule group is working or not, I want to connect to my EC2 instance, right? Which is present on that VPC. So that's why I'm opening EC2 instances. You can see here under the instances, yeah, I have one instance. That instance private IP address, if you observe, that starts with 10.0. That means this is present under that VPC only, under that lab VPC only. Since we attached or associated this rule group to that VPC, lab VPC, these rules will be evaluated. In this domain list, what I specified, so whatever the requests that are going out to these two domains, those two requests will be what I'm doing, I'm blocking. So let's validate it. I'm just connecting to the server by using some sessions manager connection. Now I want to validate that can I able to connect to google.com or not. So for that, I am writing the command nslookup. So in order to see that IP addresses, we use nslookup, name server lookup. And since I want to check the connectivity with google.com, so that's why I'm providing this. You can see server can't find this NX domain. So this is the error that we provided, right? Yeah, while blocking, we provided this as the error. Now let's try with amazon.com. Currently, we haven't blocked amazon.com. So let's see, do we got the response or not? Now you can observe, we got the response, the address of amazon.com. Yeah, whatever the non-authoritative answers, that means the IP addresses that are there, those all we got here. Name servers which are there on this website, those all we got here. That means we can able to accept other websites related response. But can we able to accept whatever the domains that we specified, that we blocked? No. Let's say I want to block this amazon.com as well. So for that, I'm moving back to my rule group. This is the rule group. And in this, I'm opening the domain list. I'm opening the rules related domain list and I'm adding one more. That is what I want to add, amazon.com. And I'm adding this. You can see that got added here. Yeah, now I want to check from my sessions manager connectivity. Can I able to see it or not? Now you can see the response, that is NX domain, right? Yeah. So that means we are not even getting the response here. So, but why we got the response previously, but why it is not getting now? Because previously it was updating. So whenever you add one more record or whenever you add some changes into your rule group, obviously your rule group will take some time, right, in order to update it. Yeah. So that's why it is taking a minute of time in order to update. So now you can see it is updated. So that's why it is not accepting the request even from amazon.com. So in this way, you can able to block the request to specific particular domains. Let's say I want to watch these logs. I want to watch these logs. Is it possible, sir? Yes. So you can move back to Route 53 service. There you can able to create your logs. I'm opening the Route 53 service. In this, you have an option to create logs and analyze those logs which are moving out by using DNS queries. You can see here the option that is hosted zone. In this hosted zone, I have already created one of my hosted zone, but currently for this lab that is not required. Now you can see query logging. Here under resolver session of Route 53, under Route 53 resolver session, you have query logging. You can open it and create a query logging. So since I'm creating for logs, I provided names like this. Here we need to specify in which destination you want to store your logs related to this traffic. You want to store in CloudWatch or S3 or Kinesis data Firehose delivery streams. Currently, I'm expecting to create under CloudWatch logs because if I store it under CloudWatch logs, then I can even able to analyze that later. So that's why I'm clicking on create log group here, and I'm providing the log group name as a log1. Like that, I provided the name. Now, for which VPC you are expecting the logs, that VPC you need to attach here. So that's why I'm clicking on add. Since my VPC is a lab related VPC, I'm adding that. You can see that is added. Now I'm configuring, or you can say I'm configuring this query logging. Now you can observe our query logging also just now got created successfully. Now I want to again move on to my CloudWatch service in order to see that group. To observe the logs after those logs got created. So just now we created log1 related log group. You can see under log groups that log1 folder is there. So let's wait. Yeah, you can see that is this. Currently, since after creating this logging group, I haven't provided any logs. So that's why there is no logs here. Now I want to provide some logs. That is, I want to run, or you can say I want to query from that VPC so that data traffic got generated and that will be logged into that log group. I'm just requesting to amazon.com. You can see I'm not getting the response. Now I'm requesting again to google.com. You can see I haven't got any response. Now let's open the log group again. Let's refresh it. Now you can observe two logs we have. First is this. In this, if you observe, so what we searched for google.com. So that's why I'm searching for it. To see that related log, you can see this is one request, that is a google.com. So you can see the response code is NX domain. That means it is a blocked one. You can see that a response will be blocked at where? At this firewall related rule group action. At firewall level, rule group action will be blocked that request. Right? Yeah. This google.com related query. So in this way, you can able to observe the logs as well. So which request will be blocked, which request will be accepted from your VPC, that also you can able to analyze from here. So let's have one more question. That is, sir, you told us how to add custom rules to your rule group. Now, can you show me how to add a AWS managed rule group to the rule group? Yeah. So let's open the rule group. So for this rule group, I want to add one AWS managed rule. So for that, just click on add rule. So here you will select AWS managed, add AWS managed domain list. Now I'm selecting this first one. You can select based on your requirement in real time. And which action do you want? Currently I want to block, so that's why I'm selecting this. So what this do is, the managed domains aggregated thread list will be blocked. And what are the response I'm expecting is annexed domain. So I'm just clicking on add. Here you need to provide the rule name. I'm just providing R2 and clicking on add rule. You can see now that rule group also added. That is that this rule group 2, right? Yeah. So this is the rule group that is AWS managed one. This is our custom managed rule group that we just created. In this way, you can able to add AWS managed rule groups as well to your rule groups in order to manage the traffic or control your VPC by using a rules. So this is all about this lab. In this lab, what we did is we blocked the requests that are going out of my VPC, that is lab VPC, to particular domains, that is google.com as well as what to amazon.com as well, right? Yeah. So you have seen that we have connected to our sessions manager and we verified that whether our rules are working or not. We connected to Google and amazon.com. You can see those are not allowing, that request is not allowing. So that's why we can say that these rules are working. So how do we make it done? We first created our domain list. You can see this domain list we created. In this domain list, we provided whatever the domains that we want to take action on. So that we created. Then after we created a rule group by using that domain list. And in this rule group, we provided the rule. That is what action we want to take on those domains. Whenever user request for those domains from my VPC, then which action need to be taken? Whether I want to accept that request or I want to block that request. That I have provided here. So then in order to apply these rules present in this rule groups to any VPC, I have created a association with that VPC by clicking on here. So then after creating association, I want to check the logs as well. That is, I want to verify which traffic is blocked and which traffic is allowed. So for that, what I did, I moved to this Route 53 service. There I've created a query logging. That is this. In this query logging, what I did, I have stored my result under CloudWatch related log groups. For this, I have also created one more log group with the name log1. That is this. There, what I'm storing? Logs, right? Related to what VPC? That VPC we need to provide here, right? Yeah. So then after the logs also we have filtered and verified which logs will be blocked and which logs will be accepted. So this is all about DNS query filtering by using what? By using this DNS firewall in your VPC. I hope you understood this video and you got some hands-on knowledge regarding this DNS query filtering. If you feel this video is useful, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching again. See you back in the next video. Until then, bye bye.